Hello everyone, welcome back to Firo with Friends!
Yay.
So we are back here today with Mr. Ruben, project steward of Firo, and over here we have Mr. Cho Junyang, right?
Yeah,
He is a
champion of the previous quiz.
the champion of the previous quiz if you watch. Recap. Junyang is a content creator just like myself, but instead he is cooler and has longer hair.
And less followers.
And I didn't say that. Anyways, so yeah, it's been 8 months since our last episode. So for whoever has been following and watching and growing with us, you know how I started off as a crypto infant, not knowing anything, and now I am a crypto adolescent. Yeah, right? Although I have never bought crypto up to this date because I have no money, but the knowledge and information is still within my brain. So I'm intelligent, okay?
Okay, so what's the...
Okay, anyways, so we're gonna do a little bit of a quiz, okay? So you guys each ask me one question about crypto and let's see if I can answer you.
Right, what's the
Ask
blockchain?
The blockchain is the series of code that that everything is run on.
I can go back to infant already. Okay, what's a cryptocurrency then?
Cryptocurrency is a non-tangible currency.
Non-tangible?
Yeah, that is not physically present. That means you cannot see it, but you can mine it or can receive it and can use it.
So thorough.
Okay,
correct, right?
moving on.
Okay, how about answer for me? What is cryptocurrency?
It's a currency that is encrypted.
Oh, that's also not correct.
It's not correct?
No.
Okay, yeah. Why don't we talk about what happened recently in the crypto space? Eh?
What?
So I've been seeing like a very sudden uprise of meme coins.
Yes.
You know, especially from this website called pump.fun.
Right.
You know, are you aware of this?
I saw you send it in the group chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
That's
meme
alright.
coins, like coins that have no general utility, they are just there for fun. People create it for to like basically pump and dump. Do you know what a pump and dump is?
Sounds really provocative.
Okay, yeah. So a pump and dump is basically they create a coin, they try to
Right.
jack up the price, and then a lot of people buy in. Then the owners of the coin they sell at a very high
With
price.
the insiders lah. Yeah.
So the back holders at the end are left with a shitty coin that has no use and all of their money is gone.
Oh.
You know,
Sounds like
pump and dump. So you pump to attract people, and then when it goes out, like, oh my god, I'm gonna get rich, and then they buy, and then that's when you let go.
Isn't that pretty genius?
No.
It's
It's unethical.
evil genius,
Oh.
I would say. Yeah.
Remember that the Hok Tua girl?
Hok Tua? Oh.
Yeah, you remember she got famous for the Hok Tua, right? And then I think she had a securities commission action against her because she was accused of also this sort of pump and dump actions.
Yeah, she
Oh.
created a Hok Tua coin.
Yeah.
And then I think she profited like 600,000 or something USD.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
she's one of many, but then because of, I guess, people know of her because of her Hok Tua status, then, but there are many that are like, there are millions of these type of coins that are being created every day. And previously, it used to be a little bit more difficult. So I think before we talk about that, we have to talk about, you know, as in what's a meme coin, right? So as he said, no intrinsic sort of function. Basically, it's like slap something funny on, and it's cute, it's viral, basically it's an attention grab, but the coin doesn't really do it. I mean, you can send and receive it, and that's about it, right? And the idea is that why it got so much traction? Well, I mean, like, look, even President Trump launched a meme coin. Even Melania Trump also launched a meme coin
That's
of
his
themselves.
A European wife, Russian,
Slovenian,
hot-
if I'm not mistaken.
hot big
Immigrant
boobs.
wife, yeah.
Immigrant,
Yeah.
right?
Now
yeah.
American citizen, I think.
Now,
Yes.
oh sorry.
Yeah. But
Definitely,
then,
right?
basically, I mean, now that the president has done it, everyone wants to do it. So even before that, there was a lot of like, I mean, there's even something called Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 in.
Yeah. Is that considered meme coin?
It's also
is that
considered
also
kind
pump
of
and
meme
dump?
coin. Depends how you see
Oh, okay.
things. But
Do you know about that?
Yeah, I mean
The
it was
logo
in
is really cute.
It was in the quiz last time.
Oh right, yeah.
yeah. So Dogecoin, I would say, is the original meme
Uh-huh.
coin. I mean, because it's like the OGs acquired some utility that you can buy and sell, and you can spend it in many different places. So I would say, yeah, I think not all meme coins are pump and dumps,
Okay.
but basically the idea is that, yeah, it's a coin of something cute. It doesn't really have any intrinsic. It's not seeking to solve any particular issue,
Okay.
right? And
So Ruben, with this kind of meme coin rising up every day, how do you think this will affect the general like credibility and of the entire crypto space?
Yeah.
To the layman especially.
I mean, in this particular cycle, like previous cycles, there were like different narratives and crazes, right? At one point, they were like, oh, let's talk about proof of stake coins, let's talk about smart contract coins or DeFi, decentralized finance. And I think that then there was NFTs, right? But this cycle, or whether we are still in it or not, it's been primarily about memes, right? And what actually kind of triggered this meme craze was like the creation of tools like, as you mentioned, Pump.Fun. Previously, you had to have some knowledge, like you maybe needed to know how to create an ERC20 token. You needed to have some knowledge to build a blockchain or build a token on something else. Pump.Fun just is like a wizard, like, oh yes, I put an image there, I put what I know, and then
so it's like a generator.
Yeah, it's a generator.
What?
You just need to have the enough. Was it Solana? Or is
Yeah,
it
you just have a little bit of Solana,
then
like
you can.
You pay
upload
for
your
that.
image.
You pay for the making of it with Solana.
it's like a fee.
Oh,
but
it's like a
then,
fee.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and then it does everything kind of automatically for
That's
you.
crazy.
So that means everyone can create a coin now and a meme
You
coin.
don't need technical knowledge to
Yes.
create.
You're
your
giving
own
me
coin.
ideas.
Yeah.
I
You don't want to go and have
Kindly do not. I mean,
securities commission.
You
come
can
after
create
you.
your parts coin,
Yeah.
but then don't pump and dump it lah.
Don't
Let
say you're
them-
gonna get rich.
yeah, don't promise anything lor. So yeah, talking about getting rich, right? So what do you think about like blatant market manipulation in terms of this kind of coins where, like you said just now, Trump has their coin,
Yeah.
Melania has their coin. These are undoubtedly influencers,
Yes.
right? So when they say something, when they tell their audience, their followers to buy something, there will be people buying. So
Yeah.
how ethical is that?
I mean, obviously now people are a little bit smarter in the sense that they don't directly tell people, like if I launch a Ruben coin, I wouldn't be like, yeah, buy Ruben coin today, right? They will usually engage influencers, crypto influencers, who would then be given like a portion of the supply. So let's say, because I'm creating a coin out of thin air, right? So okay, let's say both of you are influencers. I say, I want you to use your clout to push my coin, because remember, these coins are nothing, right? So they are based off the cloud, the trust, the network effect. So influencers are the best people to push this type of coins. And they're also like crypto influencers that tell their followers what to buy and whatnot, right? So just imagine if I say, I'm going to launch this new coin. To promote the coin, I'm not going to give you any cash. I'm just going to give you, 5% allocation, 5% allocation or so.
Okay.
So then you are incentivized to make the thing go up, right? And maybe I have some wallet that is not identified to me that is holding a certain bag.
Okay, but what's the difference though? Like, I mean, like for Bitcoin and stuff, there were previous influencers. They're not exactly like
Yes,
influencers,
but they did not have like pre-allocation. You know what I mean? Is that if I got the Bitcoin, I bought it, or I mined it, there was no way for me to get hey,
like a
your friend of mine,
commission,
I allocate 5% of the supply to you, right?
Okay.
So there's a difference between like currencies whereby, especially like mineable coins, when you mine it from the beginning, it's like fair, right? But if I'm starting a new coin from scratch and then pre-allocating, like you get 5%, 1%, 10%, 20%, and all of that, and they receive it all up front, then there is a kind of like a conflict of interest there.
I see.
So pumped up fund, well, it's, you know, it was supposed the design to be like, you know, so that you don't have insiders, but because before it hits certain traction, you can still get the supply for yourself and distribute it to your friends. So it kind of works the same. Yeah.
AI bot coin snipers are a
Yeah,
thing anyway. So
and so I guess it's like this cycle has been generated with meme coins, and in a way, like it has drowned out because of the rise of this meme coins, and because obviously there are millions of these meme coins being created like every day. I'm not sure whether every day there's like several thousand coins at least. Now, but we only hear about the ones that made a lot of money. We don't hear about the millions that did not make money.
survivorship bias.
Survivorship. So, you know, like for example, my friend bought something dot with hat. You know, put in like $2,000-3,000, it came out with like $500,000-600,000. You hear that, and you're like, I want to go down that story, right? So when all these things keep on coming out, you take a look at what influencers are talking about, what are exchanges listing in the past couple of like maybe 1 year or so, it's been squarely on meme coins. Like right now, the hot thing is fart coin, like based on fang pi, fart, F-A-R-T.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, it's like really, you know, maybe some people can cheer it or whatnot, but these coins take away interest because there's only so many coins you can pay attention to.
Yeah.
But when you have a new coin being created, then those who are like, you know, older, more OG, more, you know, trying to think, it's hard to stand out unless you have a lot of money to pump towards like marketing and stuff like that. And I think if you take a look, I mean, like when you hear the word crypto bro, it's not generally a good thing, right? Like, you crypto bro is
I
like,
mean, it is, right? That means they are rich.
yeah,
No,
but then I mean, like, you have a negative
really.
connotation to them, right?
Yeah.
No?
Like, no? Okay, lah.
I think
Yeah,
we
like,
have a very
crypto
different
bro.
exposure to the term.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
No, some crypto bros are very, very poor because they are just very pentaksup. They are just very,
Bentak soup.
you know, like
That's pentaksu.
What is bentak soup?
they are very obsessed with the crypto space, but then they don't have the money to buy it. You know, they are holding on to the hope.
I don't think I've met a non-rich crypto bro.
I think that's your circle, lah.
Oh,
You are
shit.
privileged enough to
I'm so sorry.
be only mixed with the
Are
rich
you a
people.
crypto bro?
I am not.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're
I am a bro.
okay.
So as a coin that actually has utility, do you find it disheartening that all this good stuff is not being discovered by people because of all this bad stuff that is happening?
I mean, I guess I'm quite practical about it, you know, like in this day and age, it is all about attention, right? But it keeps me like, okay, you know, what did I get into crypto for? What is the functions of crypto in the beginning, you know? And I guess like, I think one of the things that we talked about maybe before this is like, I personally like experience what it's like to be shut off from the financial system, like the traditional financial system. And
Is it the
What
your
happened?
credit card?
like for example, I mean, back in this, like my introduction to cryptocurrency was actually goes back to 2007, where before even Bitcoin was created. But I mean, but
was
like
96 you?
2009 was when Bitcoin was created.
Form 6.
But I started a VPN service then. And you know, that time VPNs were like, what is this thing? You know, and why would you need to encrypt your traffic? Why would you need to hide this thing? You must be doing something illegal. But now it's like VPNs are very mainstream. It's considered as part of your security suite, or you know, ways to access content that you can't otherwise access. It's very mainstream now. But when I started it, I had payment providers were cutting me off. You know, they said like, we can't accept your money. We put you in the same category as pornography sites, gambling sites, and all of this, or even like those selling weed. Right? So I was shut off from the system. You cannot do this and whatnot. Couldn't do that, and even PayPal just like kept on freezing my money. just ask me to explain my business model to them. And it was very disruptive to business. And I'm not alone. Whenever you come up with something a bit new, especially when it's relating to privacy, people get a bit angsty.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like an old example. And that's why I was like, look, I like crypto because I don't have any intermediaries that people pay me directly. It's kind of like cash, right? Like I pay you cash, I get it. I don't have to worry about someone freezing my money and all these kind of things.
But technically, when you take out the money, there is still that intermediary because you need to go through a bank, right?
I mean, like when I receive it, if I just keep it.
Oh, you were
crypto,
just talking about like the receipt.
just
Okay.
like crypto, right? Like if I think I was one of the probably earliest merchants in Malaysia that was accepting Bitcoin, and people were paying for my services in Bitcoin. I was getting like 3 or 4 transactions every day, which is like pretty good for like a pure, crypto business. And it was like, oh wow, this is a kind of like open my mind, which is why I'm very into like payments, alternative financial system. And even like recently, my bank accounts have been frozen. Right, my Maybank account, all these other things, they froze me out of the system. And it was over a transaction that was like 2,000 ringgit. And my entire like history, they're closing my bank accounts. I cannot open bank accounts. There's some blacklist on me. And I'm like, what did I do? The police have cleared me, everything. There's no issue there. But then I just got cut off from the financial system, right? So this is where I think like, why I think like alternative financial systems are important, because as nowadays, financial institutions, governments are getting more and more power. In a way, it's because they have control over your data. They have control. Like now we have like e-invoicing coming into Malaysia, where every single transaction is reported directly to the inland revenue. Do you trust them to keep your data safe? Or every time the government gets involved, our data gets hacked within a day or two. And every time we get spam calls, thanks MCMC, the Multimedia Commission also leaked all our data and blamed it on the contractor, right? So anyway, we're getting a bit off topic,
but that's an interesting topic.
It's kind of
we
like
should do a e-invoicing topic.
Because I think it speaks to why you are so passionate about the Firo project. Because you are a personal victim,
Yes. And I even have friends that like they just did a small mistake, and then they just like in Singapore they got blacklisted from all bank accounts and all this sort of things.
Oh my god, it's even worse in Singapore, right?
It's probably worse in Singapore. The judge actually in that particular case will say, we will want to make this person an example, even though we can't catch the mastermind.
Okay, that's terrible.
So
like
it's scary. And we always think, governments, if I'm a normal person, we won't get into it. But governments change, and we have seen how things can flip-flop, or you can be a friend one day and an enemy one day. And in a way, privacy gives you, to me, it's all about freedom, because it's like it allows you to be who you are without worrying what other people are thinking about you. I may have like a nasty thought or something, or maybe I'm just a geek, I don't want people to know, or maybe a LGBTQ, I also don't want people to know. I think that's important, right? To have that ability to shield certain things from the outside world. Not necessarily these are wrong things, but these are things that we should have the option, rather than feel that we act as if someone is surveilling us at every point in time. So anyway,
privacy. Got it.
So what's new with Firo recently?
So
like, what is the big news?
The big news, I mean, obviously, I think one of the biggest ones, which is unfortunately a negative, is that Binance, which is the largest exchange probably in the world, delisted Firo.
Why?
It was a bit weird because they held a weird thing called vote to delist. That means where if you held BNB, which is their native coin, you could vote to delist coins.
Wow.
Why?
That is so weird. It's like a
what is the intention?
Shareholder meeting.
Yeah, but the weird thing was that out of the 22 coins that were put in to be voted to delist, and why we were in that list is because we had what we call a monitoring tag on. And the monitoring tag is like, projects that kind of like highlighted that these are, there's more risk, there's something that is happening there, that it may be delisted. right? And the reason why we had it is because we are privacycoin regulation was coming in, and therefore they placed that monitoring tag on us. There were some other projects that also have the monitoring tag. Maybe they abandoned, or maybe the founders were caught in something. But because we were looped in that category, even like big, I would say, legit coins like Zcash also had that monitoring tag on as well. But because we were lumped into it, there was this vote to delist, and there were about 22 coins that were on this list. So under this vote, technically the one with number 1 or number 2 should be the one that like goes out. We were ranked 17 out of 22.
Okay.
We were very, very, very low. But for some reason, they used that as an excuse.
How many got delisted?
Quite a lot, I think like 8 or something.
But you guys
We were like
then vote for what leh? If they
exactly right.
Yeah.
So I felt like they were using it as an excuse. They say, "Oh, this shows like community decentralization," but then I said, "Wait, you're not even following the results of the vote."
Correct.
And you then just say that, "Oh, the vote is only like it's not the only factor that you choose to delist." Then what's the point of having the vote in the first place? So I felt like they were using this as a PR move to show that, oh yeah, we
care about the community.
We care about the community, but at the end of the day, we were 17 out of 22. The number 1, number 2, number 3 were not delisted. And the number 1 coin was FTT, which is the coin of FTX exchange, which was the exchange that
screwed
the
you
one that's
over long time ago.
basically they were using customers' money to gamble. They lost all the money. And
they didn't get delisted?
That coin is still listed on Binance.
What?
Right? And they were number 1. So
that's crazy.
It goes to show, like, even so-called big boys may not have the best interest. It's all about trading volumes. It's about market cap size, and a lot of these metrics can be faked. Probably too much to go into.
Does this delisting thing happen like every year or something?
Not necessarily. I mean, they are like quarterly reviews that they think sometimes they choose to delist. So that was a big thing, but in a way, it kind of course, we had a huge drop from like 80 plus cents to even like below 30 cents. So that was like more than a 50-60% drop. Now we've recovered to about like 60 cents, slowly getting back up.
Is it back on Binance?
No, it's not on Binance.
So never ever again on Binance?
We probably will never get back on Binance.
But we don't even bother to appeal.
Yeah, I mean, we also don't think that is a good thing, because they were like imposing a lot of requirements on us. We had to play fair. Not play fair, as in we had to play by their rules.
I see.
Which were not very good for a project our size.
So there's still other places people can buy?
Yeah, we still have a lot of other exchanges and whatnot.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is that this kind of like woke us up. It's like, look, we probably need to look at more decentralized options like DEXs, and we are. I think if you've seen in our news, you've seen like Firo Dex, Bison Wallet, all these basic swap, all these decentralized exchange options where you don't need like a centralized exchange to list. You can just do it completely P2P, and it's better for privacy as well.
Well, Binance kind of sounds like a dictatorship now. So
yeah, I mean, it's easy to say like Binance is crap and whatnot. They've done a lot to advance the space, but at the end of the day, they are a business, and they will look at what gives them money, and privacy coins give them heat from regulators and people. There's a lot of additional heat on them, so they want to be seen like we are doing, following regulator laws, and we want to continue running the business. Obviously, they were like, privacy coins are only a small part of our business. It makes more sense to delist them. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. But we have a lot of like new features. We recently released our roadmap on what the things that we're going to be building in the next couple of years.
graphic.
Yeah. And I guess right now we have launched Spark Names. So we've already launched it. That means now you can update it, but it'll be coming online around 28th of May.
That's 2 weeks later.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks later.
So what is this Spark Names?
So Spark Names is a great concept in the sense that if anyone has been dealing with crypto right now, like if I want to say, okay, send me a Bitcoin. How do I give you my address? I'll have to be like, I have to copy paste or give it to you, or give you a QR code to send. I cannot say like, hey, send it to @Ruben. You know, like with an email address,
like
I can
with PayPal,
say
you can just
or like with a alias or
Yeah,
with
yeah,
like
yeah.
any sort of handle, like what's your IG? I can just ask you like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
With crypto, you cannot because it's like
It's a
BC blah blah blah.
How
blah,
long
you know?
is the address? It's very
It's
long, right?
pretty long lah. I think I can't remember, like 12 to 16 characters,
Like-
and depending
Oh, okay.
on which cryptocurrency,
Uh-huh.
the addresses may be longer or shorter. But definitely you cannot say it lah,
Yeah.
right? And there are systems like in Ethereum where you can register, let's say, parts.eth to a particular name.
Uh-huh.
But the problem with those is that now that I have parts.eth, because that Ethereum doesn't have like inbuilt privacy, I can look up parts.eth and I see all your transactions that you have received. You know, every single transaction that you have made, where you've received money, all the tokens that you have held, is basically showing your bank statement open,
Okay.
right? So that's like really bad. Like just imagine you give me parts.eth and I see, ooh, parts had like $2 million in there. Maybe time to kidnap her.
What?
Right? I mean, like that's a valid concern, right? Or I feel like this is not data that you should be giving just for the transactions.
So Spark Names is built by Firo?
Yeah, but built for Firo.
Oh, built for or by?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, by Firo for Firo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the sense that now, let's say you can register at Parts or at Junyang, and you will tie it to what we call a Spark address. And the Spark address is a private type of address.
Okay.
Where you cannot look it on the blockchain. It's just like an email address. Like that means I have an email address I can give you, like parts@gmail.com. People can send things to you, but then they cannot tell when you send or when you receive mail. And that's how Spark Names works, whereby I can register an alias and I tie it to a Spark address so I can give it freely. So now I say, hey, send me some Firo. I'll be like, at Ruben. Send to me. Right? So it's a lot easier.
Like when they search it up, they don't see anything.
Yeah, they cannot see. They cannot see all the history.
That's
and all
so cool.
That. So I think it's very good for usability. And it's also like vanity as well. Like, I want to have all these things.
Yeah.
And the best thing is that all the fees, because obviously there's registration fees and all of this, are used to, all those fees go towards a community fund that helps to develop Firo further. So it's kind of like a nice self-sustaining loop. Yeah. So it's pretty well thought out. There are still features that we are adding to it, like the ability to transfer names to other people so they can sell names. That will be coming in a later update quite soon. But for the first time, you can register, renew, and all these other things right now. Yeah.
That's cute and nice.
Yeah, it's a nice way to do it. And I think another cool thing about Spark Names is that you can actually add additional data to it. So let's say like, I want to tie it to an NFT, or I want to put my website address. I can put any sort of metadata in that name so that when I look it up, I can see all the metadata that is associated with it. So let's say I have parts.com, or I can put there. So that means people, when they see that address, it has all this information that I choose to put there.
So when they look up that Spark name, all this information will be...
Yes. You can choose to keep it empty, or you can choose to put it something. So it becomes like
a profile, right?
It's like a
it's like a link tree.
Like a decentralized identity. Because you see, for example, with other types of identity, like let's say you have a Twitter account, X account, or Facebook account, you register is with Facebook, it's with Twitter. If that company disappears or decides to delete your account, that's it, right? But this identity, you can put the data that you want to put there, and it's stored directly on the blockchain. So we can't delete it also. It's there for as long as you continue to renew it. And it's in a decentralized form. So it can form the basis of like decentralized identity. That means this is an identity for me that exists on the blockchain. And I can use it to represent myself without necessarily revealing who I am or whatnot. But it's you know that there's somebody behind it.
Wow. Okay. So, like from what I hear, is that the benefit is that with Spark Names, we can easily give out address that people can use to transact with us. That we can remember and they also can remember easily. But still maintaining our privacy of transactions.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
And technically, like you can set your own username to anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, not like the weird characters lah. Only like normal alphanumeric characters.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
So yeah, that I'm pretty looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll see like a lot of Spark names being registered and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you think it's like a game changer? Is like Firo the only coin that has implemented something like this?
I mean, there are other coins that have implemented. I think there's probably one other coin that has privacy features and implemented something similar called Xena, which we are friends with them.
Oh,
But they have certain. Well, first of all, I think like, not that I want to, say that their thing is not good.
Okay, okay.
But it's more
we
of
love
like what
everyone.
what
we
the
love every
changes.
other
Like for
coin.
example, their approach is like, oh, I register it once, I get it forever.
Ah.
Which to me, may encourage squatting. It's simple in the sense that I know that I'm going to get this forever and whatnot. But I feel that, I think reality is that you should require people to renew. There's a recurring source of income.
Yeah.
And it allows transfer. It allows all these other things
okay.
that, it should not be like if I pass away, then forever people cannot use.
Like a website domain.
Yeah, it's a website domain. If you want to hold it, you have to pay for it, which I think is important.
So on that note, right, has any like Spark name speculation purchase begun? Like
Right now they can't because it's not yet live.
It's not yet
Oh.
live.
Yeah, it's already released, but the hard fork, or rather like the activation date, has not turned out because in a decentralized platform, not like with an app, right? Like it's centralized. I just push out the app and force everyone to update, right? With decentralized, we cannot just push out update. Everyone has to agree to update and update their ecosystem. So we have to give some time.
Do you foresee
for
this
people to
happening?
make sure
Like
to upgrade
people
their
rushing to
software or
buy
decide
the
not to.
first 26 alphabets, like at alias A, alias B.
I have
26 alphabets, like at.
Oh,
alias
we're
A,
quite
alias
smart in the
B.
sense that
First
we put the one letter wants to be very expensive.
Like a car plate number.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
makes sense, right?
So if
Yeah.
it's so if it's 5 characters and above, it's like one Firo. It's like nothing,
Yeah.
But then if it's like one letter, it's 1,000 Firo.
Oh.
So it's like, you want to pay for it, you pay for it. I mean,
Yeah.
because there's scarcity, there's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
26
Because I think
letters.
people will go and try to chase for this kind of thing so
Correct.
that they
Yeah.
can resell it in the future.
Yeah.
Like 8. Right.
Yeah, you can do that, but that's not going to be 8. Maybe it's like 100 Firo or something like that. But as long as it is below 500 characters, it's like 10 Firo, 100 Firo, then 1,000 Firo.
I see.
Yeah, so I think it's we recognize the scarcity. Yeah, people are free to bid on vanity names. If it's above 500 characters, that means like it's within reach of everyone. But if you want to be like, I hold this really special name, and then you pay for it, which I think that's another differential with the other naming systems where there's no difference in price.
I see.
So probably no problems with like copyright or anything, right? Like
I mean,
someone
the thing
decides
is
to use at Elon Musk. There's probably no problem with that, right?
there's no problem with that. I mean, we can't enforce it. Anyone can just put. I mean, similarly, you can put. When you send a Bitcoin transaction, you can attach any sort of data that you want to it. Like there was some crazy person, not crazy, but also he's a core developer of Bitcoin.
So crazy genius, okay.
His name is Luke Dash Jr. and he was putting up like verses of the Bible onto it. I mean, like okay.
I wouldn't call that crazy. I would call that passionate.
Passionate lah, yeah.
Wait, mini pause.
Okay.
Camera is overheating. Epic transition. Anyways, so Ruben, what are your hopes and dreams for Firo?
I mean, my personal. This is obviously I'm the project steward.
Yeah.
Of course, I have a say, but at the end of the day, it's a community project, right? And I would really like to see Firo like being used as a way, like in currency for payments and all of this. And we're actually seeing quite a lot of like interesting use cases of Firo. Like right now, there are people in Syria that's actually using Firo to buy essential needs, because they were like cut off from the system, right? Previously, many years back, people in Iran were using it to give flood relief. Obviously, not us directly; they are just using the platform, right? And right now, what's next that is coming is something called Spark Assets, which right now it's just Firo. You transact Firo. There's only one type of assets. Smart assets allows you to create, like similar to pump.fun. I said, it's not meant to be, pump and dump, but we can't stop. People can create whatever assets they want. So you want to create a parts coin or whatnot? Sure, no problem. But the thing is that it has privacy inbuilt, the same type of privacy that Firo has.
So it's like the pump.fun private.
Yeah, I guess so, but not really. It's not really geared towards
okay.
that. No, I mean, there are certain. It gets a bit more technical.
Okay.
Why certain things are better for speculation? Why Firo wants maybe not so great for that. Yeah, but I mean, like the idea is that you can just create a token. Let's say I want to do voting. Right? I can create like a voting token that is just a single use, just to hold a certain votes. Like transfer coins to this particular which address that you want to see win. You can do that, and it's privacy voting that's enforced on the blockchain, right? You can bridge. So we actually have a partnership with something called Confidential Layer, where you can bridge coins from other chains. So let's say you want to have Bitcoin, you want to have US dollar coin to be transferred into the Firo Spark Assets ecosystem, and you can now transfer it like privately, right? So that means now we're moving instead of just becoming a coin to like a privacy ecosystem, and it's a purpose-built blockchain for privacy. We're not trying to do everything Ethereum does all these complex things and whatnot, which is why there's a lot of like attack surface area. That's why there's so much smart contract hacks. Not to say that what they're doing is bad, but it's just like a trade-off, right? You want to do many things, obviously complexity increases and more hack attack surface.
So basically very focused on privacy.
Very focused on tokens, very focused on privacy and whatnot. And I mean, even Vitalik has been recently talking about, returning Ethereum to simplicity. There is a beauty in simplicity.
Oh, okay.
So, it's kind of like we're
they
coming
realize
full circle. Not to say what they're doing is wrong, but what I'm saying is that there is value in our ecosystem that is focused on privacy. You don't have to do like all sort of thingamajigs because we are built for that. And I really hope to see a lot of people like building any type of tokens. It could even be a meme coin, right? A private meme coin.
You want to build a meme coin?
No.
It was very funny that during April Fools, like several April Fools ago, we actually came up with an idea because, like dog coins were very famous for being meme coins, right? And we're just talking how cat coins didn't really take off for some reason.
Why do you think they did?
I don't know. I think the Westerners don't like cats.
I'm not sure. So, but we had this idea of a privacy meme coin, Shiba, like a SHHHH.
Shiba?
Very quiet dog.
Would have been quite cute. I mean, I would like to see someone build that.
Random question, right? Why is it called Spark? Is it because Firo is like fire, and then the fire, the spark, the fire,
actually,
and then it's a red theme, and the logo mascot is a flame.
Yeah, that was what it's all about because when we first created we first implemented our first privacy protocol, it was called Zero Coin, which is a horrible name because people think, I buy it, then my coin goes
Zero Coin.
Right? Yeah. But the idea was that we call it like burn, spend, repeat. Because to kind of like do the privacy that time, you had to burn your coins and then make it disappear, and then you receive new coins that have no previous transaction.
Why not Smoko?
What? Smoke can be seen by people. Smoke is used for signaling.
Carbon monoxide though.
So we had this idea, we got, I guess, like quite famous for this like burning kind of concept.
That's why
we have this thing, and we're talking about spark, it's like sparking a new revolution.
It just hit me today, right now, fire theme.
Yeah.
That's why it's red. Right?
You need a spark to spread the fire to other people.
Yeah.
That's why some people call it Firo instead of Firo.
Firo!
Maybe they are correct. Maybe we should just call it Firo, but that's the idea. That's why we have the red and everything.
So
and
cute.
it sounds like a currency. That was one of the reasons why we also, thought this was a good name to have.
I see.
Okay,
So,
that's
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
I guess anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any future projects that you guys are currently doing that you can disclose to us?
I mean,
Any
we
sneak
talked.
peek?
We talked about. We're quite transparent. You know, we have to be transparent about what we do
Yeah.
because we seek community feedback. So that's why we have the roadmap items, and we have the Spark assets that is coming on testnet probably in maybe a couple of weeks' time. So people can play and create their own fake assets first before it runs onto mainnet. So I think that'll be quite exciting. And Spark Names is coming. So I think there's a lot of interesting things, and we're actually seeing a lot of adoption of Spark addresses. Like previously, not many people are using it. Now we have swap providers and all these people that are adopting Spark addresses. So that means now there are more people using the private ecosystem. So that's really exciting. And now we're also seeing more as we got delisted from Binance. We have seen a take up in more decentralized ways to trade Firo. You know, there's Wizard Swap. You know, I guess we'll put like links there. There is the Firo Dex, which now like community members are hosting the front ends that people can trade P2P cross chain. That means I can swap Firo for Bitcoin, I can Firo with Litecoin, Dogecoin, whatnot, even Ethereum or whatnot, all in the decentralized fashion. That means there's no Binance, there's no exchange to hold your funds on behalf of you. So I think that's really powerful. And once people realize that, hey, actually this is not that difficult to use, we hope that more people will use this rather than rely on like more centralized exchanges. And I think that's more important, especially when privacy is we want to show that not that we're against regulation, but sometimes that regulation, like as I was saying, Satoshi Nakamoto went up to the regulators like, can I create this? Obviously they're saying no, right? Here we're not breaking any laws, we're just developing platforms, right? And we build it so that we are, I would say, censorship resistant. We are resistant. That means people try to shut down just because they don't like us. We will continue to survive. So I think that's...
So like for people who are new to Firo, where else can they get like news and updates, like maybe newsletters other than from the YouTube channel?
So we actually have a community-run newsletter called Firo Frontier. I think it's at newsletter.firo.org, where every 2 weeks we give like a newsletter with updates. We also are pretty active on Telegram, Discord, and X, where we post regular updates, and there's an announcement channel, Firo at Firo News on Telegram. So many ways to get involved, and we also have forums for like more long form. You want to discuss something and whatnot. So I think these are all excellent ways to
just the community spirit.
Yes,
Okay,
they
put
call
all
them
the
Firo
links.
fan.
Put all the links here.
Speaking about community, YouTube community, it is very evident that after 8 months of not touching anything Firo crypto related, I have degraded from devolved from crypto adolescent back to crypto baby. So if you guys enjoy Firo with friends, do let us know in the comments below, and then we'll do more Firo content, and then Ruben will re-educate me alongside Junyang also. Probably gonna get scolded by them after this. We wouldn't know, but we have plans to continue this podcast further and involve, I guess, more people, intelligent people who are good at crypto, and then we learn and share,
It's
educate,
okay, you
grow
get there.
together.
You get there.
Right? Yeah, see, they are so supportive. I feel bad now. Anyways, so that is all for this episode.
Like, subscribe.
That's all for episode 6 of Firo with Friends.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah,
Make sure you
and-
put the notification bell also.
Yes.
And also, do make sure to check out Spark
Names.
names. There's so many. Spark.
Now you are a crypto zygote.
No, just now you said got multiple, right?
Spark asset.
address, Spark asset, okay, Spark names, and everything Spark related, because Fire Firo, we love Firo.
See, she's even like color.
Color coordinated, just my brain isn't very coordinated, but it's okay, so that's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much to both of you.
No
Thank you,
problem,
thank you, thank you.
okay, let's just say see you guys.
Bye.
Stay fiery.
Oh,
Stay
not
fiery.
bad, not bad.
Can you
actually.
give a tagline?
Firo out. I don't know.
Firo out?
Cringes.
Give a tagline.
I don't know.
Fire related tagline.
Yeah.
Shine bright like a fire. It's all bad.
Okay,
Okay, we will cut it
burn
there.
And
We'll
burn
think about
brightly.
it.
Yeah.
Put it in
Stay
the
tuned
comments.
to
We will
the
workshop
next
that later.
Episode.
Yeah.
Alright. Let us know what you want in the comments. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Yeah. That
Okay.
went well. Okay. Can cut that.
How does one even explain what is blockchain?